story, the fantastically true story of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives. Average citizen, high-level member of the Communist Party, and counter-spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. The worldwide communist conspiracy starts with the control of men's minds, by propaganda, by deceit, by brainwashing. This week's story is about a man whose brain has been washed by the communists. Oh, hello, Jack. You been waiting long?
No, I just got here. Should we go in?
Yeah. Mr. Hillary?
Yeah.
I'm Herb Philbrick. This is Jack Graves. We're from the Press and Advertising Club.
How do you do? Won't you come in, gentlemen?
Thank you.
I hope you can find a place to sit down. As you can see, we just got here from the airport.
Well, I wish we'd been there to meet you.
I must say, it's very nice of you gentlemen to call on me like this. My first day back among the living.
Well, I think it's about the least we can do, Mr. Hillary. You see, Jack and I are kind of a warning committee.
I don't understand.
What Herb means, Mr. Hillary, is that we're having a reception at the press club.
A reception?
Right. And believe me, that is the least that we're going to do for you and Mrs. Hillary.
Why, gentlemen? Why are you doing all this?
Because we're glad to have you back among the living, Mr. Hillary. You see, frankly, you've become something of a legend around the Press and Advertising Club ever since you disappeared behind the Iron Curtain.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've gone to so much trouble for me. I'm not much for receptions. Of course, I appreciate your interest in the spirit of all this. I'm really very humbled.
Give us a chance, sir. I promise you there will be no long-winded speeches, no statements for publication. This is just a welcome home party, and it's your party. Anytime you don't like what's going on, let one of us know.
Oh, gentlemen, my wife.
Oh.
Mr. Graves, how do you do?
How do you do?
Mr. Philbrick.
How do you do?
They're from the press club.
Oh?
Came to tell me there's a reception tonight.
Oh, my. Well, then I'd better hurry and unpack. I'm a typical wife. I don't have a thing to wear. Excuse me.
Well, I'll be running along, Mr. Hillary. I'll leave Jack here to bring you and Mrs. Hillary over to the reception later on.
Of course.
There are always 1,000 last-minute details to be attended to, especially when you're not sure you even have a guest of honor.
I understand. And Mrs. Hillary and I are delighted to accept your club's invitation. More than delighted. Humble.
Well, see you later. Is that how you really feel, Mr. Hillary? After all those years in a communist prison, is that what you feel standing on your own American soil again? Humility? Herb, give you a lift? Yeah, I guess you can. That's right, Philbrick. You don't argue with a party courier. If he says you're getting a lift, you're getting a lift, comrade.
Kropotkin. Until further notice, comrade, you will be Kropotkin's eyes and his ears. A visa could be arranged so I could go ashore. However, Kropotkin's task can be best accomplished without any official record of Kropotkin entering your country.
I see.
Do you, comrade? It is very good if you do. Because while I sit here with my carving, you will do my work for me.
And that work is?
You know a man named James Hillary?
Yes, the newspaper man. I'm on his reception committee. That's all I know about him.
You'll have to know Mr. Hillary very well indeed to do Kropotkin's work. You'll have to be so close to this man, you're of one mind.
I think I understand. You want me to cultivate Hillary, keep you informed of his every movement, and if possible, even of his thinking.
Whether it's possible or not is immaterial, comrade.
You can take a taxi back, comrade. You'll find a stand at the foot of the dock.
He'll be fine.
Thank you, comrade.
They never let go, do they, the comrades? Over 2 years they had Hillary locked up, presumed dead. You'd think that would be enough. They'd let him alone now. But they don't play that way, Philbrick. You know that. Wilmington, please.
Will you take me to the fish dock?
Sorry, this cab is taken, mister.
Sorry.
Hello, Herb.
Hi, Jerry.
I must say you didn't seem surprised to see me pop up in front of your cab.
I'm not surprised at anything anymore, particularly when it has the FBI label on it.
But you are going to ask me what I'm doing down here at the dock, aren't you?
Okay, what are you doing down here at the dock?
We're interested in that ship you were on. Does that surprise you?
Not a bit. What's the story?
Well, she's registered to an Iron Curtain country. A few miles off the breakwater, she reported salting her boilers and had to be towed into the dock. The harbor master here gave her a repair yard availability, but the skipper insists upon his own engine room crew doing the job.
Regular little Captain Bligh with a Russian accent, huh?
He's a hard man, all right. In fact, you're the first person he allowed on board since you tied up. You and the comrade who brought you down here. Well, maybe we're wasting our time putting a stake out on that ship.
Jerry, you're not wasting your time on that ship.
Checkmate. Hi, Herb.
Hi, Jack. It sure is checkmate. Waiter. I'm still taking lessons from the chess master here. Fees are reasonable, though. I just pay for our lunch every day.
I had a great deal of time to think about chess.
Herb, we've got an opening in our foursome this weekend. Could you make it?
Oh, sounds like a good idea. Good way to recoup my chess losses. What time are we teeing off?
Sunday at 9:30.
Okay, Jack, I'll be there.
It's your first move, Herb.
Oh, yeah.
You're wondering what's eating Jack.
Well, I guess it's none of my business.
You would entertain me and my wife in your home. People might get the idea we're friends.
Well, that's pretty close to the truth, isn't it?
No. And that's what I'm afraid of. For you. Guilt by association.
Guilt? What are we guilty of?
In Mr. Graves' mind, I fear, there's a very strong suspicion that I'm a communist. You and I are friends. Ergo, Herb Philbrick is also a communist.
You a communist? That's the craziest thing I ever heard of. After what they did to you? Hasn't he got any imagination?
He has too much imagination, Herb. Jack and his wife were very friendly at first. Then one evening after we'd had dinner at his house, he said he could control his curiosity no longer. He had to know what it was really like in a communist prison.
Well, I hope you told him how he could satisfy that curiosity.
No. I told him how it was. Exactly how it was.
Well, fine. I don't see why that should make him feel that you're a communist.
Very simply. The truth about my imprisonment did not live up to the advance billing. I couldn't in honesty tell him that I had been beaten or tortured. I had to confess that I had received adequate food and medical attention. And, in some respects, and certainly from the communist point of view, my imprisonment was justified.
You're saying you actually were a spy?
Not by our standards. By theirs, yes. I was a correspondent. It was my job to see things and report what I saw. Let's say that I was possibly more energetic and discreet in the pursuit of a story.
Oh, I can understand that.
It's your move, Herb.
Yeah. That's checkmate.
Good work, Herb.
Hillary doesn't make any sense. Not only does he profess to bear no ill will to the comrades for what they did to him, but he can actually tear your heart out telling you stories of their humanity and their loving kindness while he was their prisoner. And he does all this with a straight face. You figure it out.
No, maybe it isn't so hard to understand. We know Kapadik is sitting on the freighter down there in the harbor. What do you bet Hillary knows it, too?
Yeah, but Hillary's not behind the Iron Curtain now. He's in the United States. He can ask for protection if Kapadik tries anything.
Look, Herb. This man was buried in prison for over 2 years, presumed dead. Suddenly, the comrades release him. He's free to go home. Apparently, he's free to say whatever he wants to say once he gets here. Only they send Kapadik along to make sure that he chooses the right thing to say.
But Hillary's audience is going to be pretty small, even if he convinced everyone at that press club.
But it's much bigger than that. Next week, he's scheduled to appear on a nationwide hookup. He's going to be interviewed by a panel of newspapermen.
Hillary never breathed a word about it.
Does that surprise you?
Okay. You're convinced he's a communist. By brainwashing or by some other method, they made him their boy. But there is one other possibility, Jerry. Blackmail. Yeah. Except what could the comrades have on him?
I don't know, Herb, but we're going to find out if you don't mind sticking your head in the bear's mouth.
On one condition.
Yeah.
That you hang on to my heels. Stick your head in the bear's mouth, Philbrick. Count his teeth. This is what's known as a calculated risk. And as long as Dressler and the FBI enter into the calculations, you have nothing to worry about. Of course, no one has told the comrades that you have nothing to worry about. The bear could close his jaws while your head is in there. That's where the risk comes in. The calculations are only a comforting thought.
Comrade, you have something to report?
Well, as near as I can make out, he's very bitter about his imprisonment. Claims he committed no crime against the people's government. Okay, Philbrick, you've passed the point of no return. You've told your big lie. Now sell it. Big. And hope Kapadik doesn't know better. Sell it like a true comrade, in hot, angry words.
What else did he have to say? I want to know every word exactly.
Claims he was tortured and beaten in prison. Then he was starved and tormented. The usual capitalist lies.
It's rather like a dentist's drill, isn't it, comrade? I imagine it would have a very salutary effect on a liar of Mr. Hillary's caliber. You may go now, comrade, if your report is complete.
Brought my story. Yeah, that means Hillary can't be a communist. Sure, that leaves blackmail. Yeah, the comrades will be around right soon to whip him back into line. Okay, count on it. I'll stick around to pick up the pieces. See you.
Oh, Herb, I'm so glad you could come over.
Well, I'm glad your phone call caught up with me. What seems to be the matter with Jim?
I don't know, really. He's locked in his study. He wouldn't come out for breakfast or his lunch. He won't even answer me when I call to him. Not since this morning when he shouted at me to leave him alone.
Well, has he given you any idea of what this is all about? Has he hinted that he's in trouble of any kind?
No. There was a telephone call after we'd gone to bed. Must have been late last night or early this morning. Jim answered it, and I don't think he ever came back to bed again.
And when you got up this morning, he was already locked in his study. Well, let's see what we can do about it. Jim? Jim, it's Herb. I want to talk to you. Come on, Jim. This is no way for you to act just because I beat you at chess yesterday afternoon. Come on. Open up. You can have your revenge right now. Now listen, Jim. I'm either going to batter down this door or you're going to open up and talk to me. So come on, let's be about it.
What do you want?
Just talk, Jim.
Poor Jim.
I'm all right, dear. I'm all right.
Look, Jim, there's one point I'd like to get across quick. You can do all the thinking you want to do, provided you're sure of one thing.
What's that?
That your friends can't help you.
We can dispose of that. They can't.
Have you tried them lately? I understand around the press club that there are a lot of new faces in that lineup.
Thank you, but what can you do? You or anybody.
You want to try me? Look, Jim, the worst that can happen is that you tell me what this is all about, and I have to tell you that I can't help you. Does that make you any poorer? At least you've shared your problem with one other human being. By that much, it's lighter. But whatever it is, get it off your chest or from around your neck or wherever you're carrying your bigger problems these days.
All right, Herb. I don't know why anyone would want part of this. But since you're asking for it, let's start with the truth about James Hilary. I'm a traitor to my country, a stool pigeon, and too big a coward to change.
Yeah. Now, you want to tell me about it?
You've heard of brainwashing? Well, meet the snowiest bundle of wet wash to ever come from a comrade's laundry. I've been soaked, hand scrubbed, run through the wringer, bleached, and hung out to dry. I'm their boy, their stooge. There's nothing I can do about it.
Oh, I don't know, Jim. You don't look too clean to me. I think the commies let you out of their laundry while you were still tattletale gray. As I understand it, a brainwashing, when it really takes, leaves you completely clean. There's no conflict with the past. You're a communist, period. You can't betray your own country because now your own country is Mother Russia. Now, what have they got on you? What is it?
You remember Brooks Clark?
British foreign correspondent? Sure.
My best friend, Herb. You know what happened to him. I mean, for publication.
He committed suicide, wasn't that the theory?
I killed him.
According to the story that leaked out from behind the Iron Curtain, Clark jumped into a river. Are you saying you pushed him?
It amounts to the same thing. Clark was trying to escape across a frozen river. A red patrol spotted him. Rather than give himself up, he threw himself in.
Well, Jim, I don't see how you can blame yourself for that.
I named Brooks Clark as a member of my spy ring. That's why he was trying to escape from the country. There was no spy ring. No spies who had anything to do with me. All I was doing was trying to buy myself a meal, a few hours of peace.
After what you've been through, nobody could blame you for that.
Nobody. Nobody but the man who had to pick up the bill.
Yeah.
Well, we know what we're fighting now anyway. It's the classic blackmail plot. Story of the frightened man buying silence on the seller's market, and this man's getting in deeper and deeper.
Yeah, but there's a difference, Jerry. Hillary knows what he's doing, knows what it means, and still he can't stop. He's their tool of propaganda no matter what way he turns. Of course, there is one thing we could do to ease the pressure, temporarily anyway. We could call off that radio broadcast.
And have the commie press all over the world screaming that here in the United States we abridge freedom of speech. Herb, Hillary makes that broadcast.
Before we go in there, Herb, I just want you to know I appreciate all you've done for me.
Just what have I done for you?
I think you put it rather well the day you came to my study. At least as another human being who knows my problem. By that much, it's lighter.
Yeah, I just wish that there was something more concrete.
That's the heroic concept, Herb. The underdog comes through in the clutch. It's great in fiction. I know what this will do to me. I'll be branded a dupe or at best a poor fool. That's better than having the communist radio using my own words to tell the world that the American newspaper man, James Hillary, traded his best friend's life for a loaf of stale bread.
Oh, Mr. Hillary, we've been trying to reach you all over town.
Well, I'm early, am I not? Or has my watch stopped?
No, we still have a half hour to airtime, but there's a transatlantic call for you. Hello, operator. I have Mr. Hillary here. Can you put through that London call? Here you are, sir. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello?
Hillary there?
Yes, it's James Hillary.
Brooks Clark here.
Brooks?
You recognize my voice?
Yes, Brooks. Of course I recognize your voice. But, Brooks Clark.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Well, I'll see you later then, Jim.
Bit of a shocker for you, old boy, having me pop out of the grave like this. But our intelligence insisted I keep my head down until they cleaned up some mess or other.
Hi, Herb. Did Hillary get his call from Brooke Clark?
I might have known you had a hand in that.
I hope you don't mind a fast ride, Herb. We have to get you down to the harbor before Hillary goes on the air. It's a matter of identification. After all, you're the only one who's actually seen Comrade Kapotic.
By the way, that was nice timing on Clark's call to Hillary.
British intelligence produced Clark. Actually, all we did was convince them that it was time to take Hillary off the hook.
And arranged for the call to come to Hillary just before he went on the air.
Now we've got a couple minutes to go.
Hey, that'll give you time to answer one question. Was British intelligence going along with the commie story about Clark's suicide?
A dirty trick on the Kremlin. It seems the underground people who were arranging for Clark's escape made a deal with one of the Red Border Guards. He wanted to try free enterprise. Actually, the suicide story was his invention. Clark's end of the deal was to stay dead until the guard and his family were safely out of the country.
Mr. Hillary, exactly what is brainwashing? How is it done?
In simple terms, brainwashing is merely another name for mental and physical torture. Every one of us has a threshold of resistance to pain or hunger or psychological pressures. When this threshold is passed, the human being becomes a human animal, and like an animal will sit up and beg to its master, its communist master in my own case. The methods of torture have changed very little since the days of the Borgia, except for minor technical improvements such as the dentist drill and the electric needle. The principles are the same.
Underway.
I can tell you this. At the time, it is with a feeling of almost blessed relief that you find yourself giving up.
Well, so much for Comrade Kapotic. I guess he's really going home.
Yeah. Going home to explain the failure of a mission. You know, I understand they have a very special welcoming committee to meet failures.
And it couldn't happen to a more deserving guy. because James Hillary remained at heart a loyal American, an ambitious communist propaganda effort failed. We'll bring you another story from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick, citizen, communist, counter spy.